take a ride on board the flying magic monkey machine.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Rob Chapman's lo-fi podcast. Intentionally lo-fi. I don't want to give anyone any false expectations of quality here. I would very much like to introduce Garron Noone. Everybody.
How are you getting on? Are you well?
I've just had a giant full English on the beach, so I'm feeling beautifully fed, watered, sunned, looked after. All the right kinds of things.
What an excellent start to the day. I'm here. We're having a heat wave in Ireland at the moment, which it's 28 degrees, which to me is borderline fatal. So I'm just trying to stay safe here. I have 2 fans on in the room. I'm still in bed trying to conserve my energy.
Can I just start off by saying how I found you, and then would it be okay if you to the people that may not know who you are, what you do, maybe give a little bit of a background about yourself?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So, as a guitar playing monkey man, I found you through a quick demonstration of a Japanese rev star.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane. that's probably one of the least popular things I've ever done in my life. Was that?
Well, so listen, as a guy that does this, professionally, has done for 15 years, I was looking for demos of the Japanese rev star.
Yeah.
And I came across yourself. And
Great
I thought,
guitar,
okay,
by the way.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And in the industry, when a demo is done by like a non-professional, rather unkindly, we call them muggle demos.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, here's a muggle demo. Let's see how it really sounds, in the hands of a regular, normal, everyday person. Who's like, here's the rev star. It's a guitar. In case you don't know, it sounds like this. And then you play the living shit out of it. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And it was clearly evident that you had educated acoustic chops that you were applying in an electric format, and you sounded like, I don't know if you've ever heard of John Gom.
Yeah. I love John Gom. Yeah, he's
right.
brilliant.
Okay, so
yeah,
I've known John for a long time, and Mike, you sounded like John Gom type of chops on an electric, and I was like, wow, this is fucking insane.
I don't know if I'm quite getting to John Gom's level, but I'm definitely trying to attempt that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, you have what I would describe and what Stan Bush calls the touch.
Thank you.
Wonderful, sensitive feel in the way that you play, and I was like, wow, this guy is a really good player. And then, so I started following, and then I saw you did Raglan Road, you did Bees Wing, and you did a Black. And I'm a big Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains sound guy. That's where I grew up, man. 1975. And I was like, okay, he's phenomenal vocals. This is
well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're also a comedian and a presenter. So most people will probably know you from the amusing sketches, shorts, reels, and all that kind of thing. But do you want to just talk about yourself and where you come from, what you do, and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so
we're getting some random glitchy Wi-Fi delay and stuff. Let's kill this call, start another one, and see if it's improved.
It's looking better.
It's looking a lot better. I think we fixed it. It was literally a switch it off and on again.
Oh, well, listen, if anything's going to succeed, it's going to be that.
You're absolutely right. So I completely agree with you, because in many respects, we're kind of similar in as far as people probably know me for demonstration, stupid, funny videos where I'm blindfolded. And then I play guitar in a band as well. But the people come to me through the demonstrations, the funny skits, the blindfolds, the glove puppets, and everything. And then if they're, if I'm lucky, they find my music. What I'm curious to know is whether you've got a band, or whether you still play live, or what happens in your music life now.
Yeah, I mean, I do. So I'm recording a lot of stuff at the moment. The thing is, what's been great about it, to be honest, is, I used to kind of, everything I did music wise, used to kind of have to put food on the table. So what's been great about this is now I'm free to kind of just do whatever I want with music. I can put out whatever sort of music I want to put out. It doesn't have to make any money. It doesn't have to do any of that because I've got another thing that I'm doing that I love to do. So yeah, I'm pretty much just recording stuff at the moment. When it's ready, I'm going to put it out. I'm probably not going to even advertise it that much. It's kind of more for my own joy than anything. I don't really miss having to make a living from music. I think I've got back a lot of the love from it that I had kind of lost when I had to sort of, grind out all the time and do a lot of gigs and stuff like that. I have a lot more freedom now. And I still do a good few gigs, but not as many as I had to do before. Maybe that's maybe not everybody feels that way, but I like having to do it less. And more approaching it from a point of now I approach it purely from a place of passion. It doesn't have to be a job. And I think there's a lot of freedom in that. So
yeah, well, you got a lot of strings to your bow, so financially you can draw on many of these different bows, and then they all end up in the same pot, I suppose.
Well, there's that, but also there's I think one of the things is that I used to have is I used to be maybe teaching production, and then maybe I'd be producing something, and then maybe I'd be doing 7 gigs in a week. And by the end of that, I wasn't picking up the guitar for my own joy. I wasn't, I wasn't just fiddling around and recording ideas for fun. It all felt like it had to be this intentional sort of thing. And to be honest with you, I think I enjoy it more when I can just do what I want.
I can relate. I think the rustiest I've ever felt on the guitar is when I'm touring.
Yeah.
Because you're only playing the part for the song, and then you're done, and you're on the bus or you're in the hotel, Travelodge, premiering something delicious like that.
Yeah.
And you're not doing the shredding and the playing over other people's stuff, and I definitely wasn't. So
and I love all that sort of I love all that sort of fancy diddly acoustic stuff. And to be honest with you, when you're trying to make a living, you don't get to do a lot of that.
No, it's a lot of covers.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
So did you grow up just playing? You sound like someone who just grew up with music around you. I'm guessing your parents were musical.
Yeah, my mother played a little bit of guitar, and my dad was a big Elvis guy. He used to sing a lot of Elvis covers. He sounded quite a bit like Elvis, actually. And that was pretty much it. So I always wanted to learn the guitar. I learned it mainly off YouTube tutorials. That's how I learned pretty much everything, and then just sort of fiddle around with it. Never had a guitar teacher or anything like that. Just learned from various hairy men across the world with video cameras. You being one of them. I think I learned a minor 3-note per string, ascending scale off you sometime. Yeah. That one. Yeah. I think I threw that into a few pop songs that didn't belong in.
Wow. Oh yeah, you did. What was that one you did? Oh my God. I can see the video, but I can't remember which song you covered. But there was a cover of a pop song that was quite good.
Yeah.
There's kind of a myth in England that in Ireland everyone is just musical. That you walk around the corner and you hear music. I've never been to Ireland.
Yeah.
But can you describe the music scene in Ireland?
Yeah, it is a lot of a lot of the great musicians are sort of come from the traditional background. So trad music is massive here, and anybody who plays trad music seriously is like the best musician of all time. They all have insane chops. They're all unbelievable. There's a huge amount of that. So I think maybe that's a lot of where it comes from. But generally day to day, people in bands and stuff, I think it's about the same as anywhere else. It's more so the trad music scene that keeps people really in it. And because of that, so many people are very good musicians. Everybody sings. Sometimes they probably shouldn't, but we all give it a go.
Yeah. I've heard Ireland described as the Nashville of Europe.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the finger picking thing, and it's the just growing up with it being part of the culture, and
Well, you see, a lot of people learn they learn banjo or they learn the fiddle or even the accordion, and people that play the accordion, they're nuts. Absolutely insane. So
I didn't know banjo was a popular Irish instrument.
oh yeah, banjo championships everywhere. I know 2 All-Ireland banjo champions. I run into if you
What?
can't throw a stone, but you're going to head an All-Ireland banjo champion. I don't know how many All-Ireland banjo championships there are, but there seems to be quite a few of them.
What the fuck?
Certainly somebody does not have a monopoly on that title because they're all over the place. But yeah, banjo's a big instrument here, yeah, for sure.
I wonder what the etymology of the banjo is. I wonder if it comes from that part of the world.
Well, I think a lot of
into America from Ireland.
A lot of bluegrass, I think, is sort of derived from Irish and Scottish music. So I don't know when they started sending the instruments home, but they did at some point.
I'm gonna have to find out where the banjo originates from. We're gonna do it right now. I need to.
Looks Scottish to me. The sheepskin, maybe it's Welsh.
Where does the banjo originate from? It's gonna be so fun if it's from Ireland. Oh, you would never guess.
I feel like it's going to be an Eastern European country, or it's going to be some country I can't name.
It's West Africa.
West Africa.
Yeah.
There you go.
A plucked, stringed, skin-covered, gourd instrument. And then from there, it moved around the planet. As with everything, it came from Africa. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow.
But there we go.
Yeah. So who were your... I mean, we've already talked about one of your influences when the connection was super dodgy, John Gone, that kind of vibe. But who were the people that really inspired you specifically as a guitar player?
As a guitar player, probably, I don't know how much it comes out in the stuff that I have on the internet, but probably more so in stuff that I'm recording. Probably John Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Elliott Smith, big Elliott Smith fan. Love his guitar playing. A lot of like folk. I just love folk. A lot of like Paul Brady, who's a big folk musician from Ireland. A lot of folk stuff. But then also like I like a lot of just rock and like grunge. Like a lot of that early era of grunge. Like that Chris Cornell did. There's a song called Seasons. Like a lot of those like kind of open tuning. That's just one example, but they used open tunings a lot. A lot of that sort of stuff I was really into when I was a kid. So
yeah,
primary anything like where I don't tune the guitar the way it's meant to be. I love it.
Where a chord is this.
Yeah. Well, it's more so that you can just bash it open and just put your fingers anywhere, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. For me, Chris Cornell was my vocal god. If I could have sounded like anyone, if I could have rolled the dice and got the Chris Cornell 6, that would have made my life so pleasurable and enjoyable.
Yeah, Chris Cornell's amazing. I've seen him live like more than anyone else. I think I've seen him like 5 or 6 times, which doesn't sound like a huge amount, but I think that was every single time he was in Ireland. So
oh well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did you get the impression that he sang quietly, like he wasn't loud, but just controlled?
Well, I think he does a lot of this kind of. I think the like raspy part of his register sounds a lot more pushed than it actually is. It sounds like he's absolutely wailing, but I think he's actually very loose. You can see when he plays acoustically a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was seeing in my head when I was saying that, because when I learned about mixed voice and SLS and all that kind of thing, I was like, it's confusing. I just want to scream, you know. And I went to see Chris Cornell. I thought, wait a minute, he's not loud. He doesn't look like singing loud. He's controlled and fairly. It's all technique and up here, you know.
But he does that. He does a lot of this when he's singing. A lot of this sort of smiley sort of resonance to the face kind of
yeah.
So
and as a singer you can feel where he's projecting that kind of thing.
But that you know, that sound, like, it's not always going to sound cool like that. Like, I think sometimes when you try and do that, sometimes it's like it's either it sounds cool or it really doesn't.
And you know what, it really helps depending on the accent that you sing with. Because I mean, you're Irish. You sing with either an American or an Irish accent. both of them have similar areas, but as an English guy, I apologize. If I sing with that register, it sounds odd in an English accent, and I can't sing with any other accent than my own. I've tried. It just doesn't. I can't do it.
But I think like Radiohead are the people that I'd be sort of thinking of when I think like English accented singing, where it's like really, really smooth the whole way up the register, and that's how. And I think it's like it depends sort of maybe what way you lean into the way you form vowels and stuff like that. But it's always interesting to hear how like I always feel like when I hear Chris Stapleton is a big one where I feel like his accent is like nobody else could sound like that, because you need that like sort of twang to your accent to make that like high pitched screaming sound class.
It's true. It's a big part of it, and I think in many ways the American accent is so much easier to sing rock in. It's so much more nasal. You're forgiven for a lot of that tonal stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you do for your voice? Do you do lots of warm-ups, exercises, or do you just sing all the time?
To be honest with you, I go through phases where I have to basically relearn how to sound good, because I'll be like doing 6 months of stuff completely unrelated to music, where I will still be playing a lot and I'll still be sort of like trying to come up with tunes, but it's basically just sitting on my couch being like, it's like I'm not actually singing out. And then I'll have like something coming up where I have to sing like on TV or do a gig or something like that. And then I'll be like stood in the house like, oh yeah, I have to put volume behind this. How do I do this? Because it's just a completely different thing. So no, I don't practice as much as I should. There are varying, unfortunately recorded instances of me singing in very different quality, because I haven't been practicing enough leading up to it.
Mate, this is the story of my life. I really feel this, because I'm there right now. I have 2 gigs. I've got one in London, one in Manchester, the 1st and 2nd of October. I haven't sung live in about 2 years, and that was once in 5 years. So I practice for a tour or for a recording, and then otherwise I just sort of noodle around the house singing, bullshit, sweary stuff.
There's something about practice and singing that feels really intrusive to everybody in your general area. It's like there's a couple of things about practice and singing that are difficult. One is like finding a place to actually practice singing that isn't annoying everybody, especially if you've got like because you've got like quite a low voice like me as well. So if you've got a low voice, you've got to sing loud to get anywhere. And so I'm extremely loud when I sing, like extremely loud. And the other thing is that when you're coming back into singing after not practicing for a while, everything sounds shit. And you're really self-conscious about it. So you're like, I don't really want to practice singing now, because I know I'm going to go for that note and it's going to take me a second to find out where it's supposed to be. And it's going to be like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I live in a block of flats.
Yeah.
And my wife is a full-time professional vocalist. So, and she sings like Queen of the Night. All that kind of, and I'm like, I've got to practice a scale now, and with her in the room doing all that kind of stuff, and it's hard. But I have this thing: the shitter, the better. I think you just have to muscle through and enjoy being crap for a month until you finally find that feeling that locks in place, and then suddenly you go, oh yeah, of course I can sing.
It's strange, because if you don't sing for a while, that kind of goes away. Like that sort of like instinct for how everything is supposed to like feel. It's a really strange thing. And sometimes I've not practiced for a while and I've had to get up and do something, and I've just been too busy maybe to practice it properly. And I get up and I start singing. It's like, why is my voice not doing the things that I'm telling it to do?
Yeah, it's like an internal shape that you forget the feel of. Because with the guitar, obviously, you can see everything, so it's a completely visual if you're looking anyway. It's the right note, it's in the right position, my wrist is sunk, it's all ergonomic, my shoulder's not up here. I'm relaxed, I'm using alternate economy, whatever it is, hybrid. I know you're a finger hybrid guy, which I can.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Which is good. But with the singing, you don't see really anything. It's all internal, so to speak. Apart from the mouth shape or all that kind of stuff. It's just like hidden. So it's
sometimes
remembering the feeling.
It's so strange because sometimes if I haven't sang in a while, when I try to sing, it sounds too much like talking. Like that sort of like, I don't know, like the sort of the beauty of the resonance of the note just doesn't happen. And for some reason, you just have to like sing for 2 weeks, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's I figured out how to do that again. But it can be really disheartening sometimes because you're like, oh, I just can't sing anymore.
That's it. And I think the hardest part about singing, other than the unfathomable torrent of hatred that you receive from anyone online, whether you're I saw a video of Miles Kennedy and Slash, and they were doing one of their songs, and it was a live performance, and they were really good. And I went to the comment section, as you do, and they were like, guitar player's shit, singer sounds out of key, and I'm like, what? Do you even understand anything? It doesn't matter who you are. You'll never escape the hatred. So that aside, you then have your own emotional, like, oh man, maybe I'm just not a singer. Maybe I'm just a comedian now. Maybe I review food. There's money in it. Or for me, maybe I just do gear. It's people want to buy gear, And you have to silence the internal bitch and ignore the online stuff, and then look this way to sort of the future of how you want it to be. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, particularly if you're like sort of when you're relying on it to be your sort of main thing, it can be like one of the things is about any sort of like creative work at all is it's going to give you as much trouble as it's going to give you good, and people talk about like I live a life completely my creativity pays for everything, so it's my absolute dream is to live a life where I just get to be creative all the time, and that's my living. But nothing causes me more pain still than trying to be creative. It's tough, it's difficult, it gets you down. Every time you fail, you feel like, well, nobody should like me anyway. Why am I even trying to do this? So it's tough, it's hard on people, and I know a lot of people personally who do very well, who really, really struggle all of the time because being creative for a living is a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yeah, it is.
It's not as hard as going out and building a house or anything, but emotionally it's a very difficult thing to do. And it's one of those things where I think people lie about it a lot. Like people say, oh, just like, I just love sitting down and writing my album. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It causes you misery. I know it does. I've seen it. I know a few fairly successful artists, and I know that no matter what level you are at, trying to do something good creatively will almost drive you insane.
Yeah. I wonder if though you need to be that kind of person to have that kind of creative output, because I when I meet people that like family members that maybe I've never met before because I've got a big extended family, and they're like, so what do you do? And I go, oh, I'm a singer, guitar player. Oh, what kind of music do you do? I guess heavy progressive grunge rock stuff, or instrumental shred. And they say, but what is it, happy? Or, and I'm like, no. In fact, if I'm happy, I don't write anything, not a note. My music is about a catharsis, a process of dealing with anger and pain and suffering, and without those there is no music. And the people that connect with my music are going through those emotions and need that kind of thing. So I feel like if we didn't deal with that kind of suffering, probably we wouldn't output anything like as much musical juice.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's the self-criticism as well, is that you kind of have to be, I think, intrinsically self-critical to to be able to sort of form things in the first place. But it's I think it's a difficult thing. It's one of those things I think people don't talk about enough. I think whenever anybody has a platform to talk about creativity, they act like it's the greatest thing in the world. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the feeling of having created is excellent, but the process of getting there often not so excellent.
Yeah. What do you do to take care of your mental health?
So I have this is another thing I maybe disagree with a lot of people about. I think there's like I don't think it's one of those things where you're in a constant balance of letting it go way down and then going, why did I let things get like that? Let me sort of bring myself back to 11 and be, oh, I'm okay now. Then taking on a load of stress and be like, no, but that's, I think, how everybody operates. I definitely had that. So like things kind of took off for me very quickly. And I started saying yes to everything and doing everything. And it just got too much. So I did actually recently have a bit of a downturn in my mental health. So I had to take 2 months off. I had to cancel a tour. And it's funny because somebody commented when I canceled the tour. Somebody commented, back years ago, like all these rock stars and stuff, you never seen them canceling for mental health. It's like, well, yeah, what you did see was them getting addicted to drugs and dying when they were in their 20s. So I think I choose this any day. I suffer from pretty bad panic attacks. It's sort of intermittently, I get pretty over it, but I can become like basically entirely agoraphobic. Until 2022, I was actually like completely, basically didn't leave my house for maybe 4 years leading up to that. So that's when I started doing all the production stuff. That's when I got into all that. I think one of the things is just to take your head out of what you're doing. And I don't think that's just if you're doing stuff online, like whatever it is you're doing, you've got to get your head out of it and get your head into yourself and do the things that, you know work for you.
I love that when you were stuck at home, you turned that into a learning experience to focus on studying something else. Because what you did is, okay, I can't do this, I'll just go around it and do something, instead I'll take advantage of the situation almost and learn something else. That's such a strong mental way through what you were going through.
One of the things I'm blessed with, and I don't know where it comes from, but I am absolutely blessed to have it, is I am optimistic to a fault. Like, no matter what happens, I just go, okay, that's terrible, but I'll do this. So I'm very lucky to have that, because I think some people just don't get it. And it's like, I think it honestly is just luck whether or not you can keep that. There are times that I've lost it, but I've been always very lucky, no matter how bad anything has gotten, that I've always had that sort of optimism, which is I'm absolutely blessed to have.
Yeah, no, it really is a gift, and I don't know how people, because I'm similar. I'm a stupid idiot. I joke all the time. Not hardly anything is serious in my house or in my band. It's almost like a Tourette's gathering of just people out into random phrases and things. And I think if it wasn't for that, I don't know how I'd manage. I mean, my method, because I get totally overwhelmed with the social media, the band, being a dad. And my escape route has always been just get into nature, whether it's get in the sea or walk into a little woodland and just do nothing, stare at a tree. And what I did recently is I deleted all the social media from my phone. It was weird, Garron. It was so honestly, man, it was weird. Because I mean, you're a young fella. I grew up without a phone. I remember when they were invented, and was like, oh, I've got a phone. I could phone somebody. Who am I going to phone? And that was in my 20s. So I had a whole childhood without ever being contactable, being completely free and not being tethered to this black mirror. And recently I grew nostalgic for that feeling. So I removed all the social media.
I think a lot of people are feeling this. I think for sure. Yeah.
But the problem was I have to work.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, my guitar company marketing guy's like, "Oh, can you post this thing on TikTok?" And I'm like, "Well, I just deleted it." He's like, "Oh, but we need to." And I'm like, "Oh." And then someone else was like, "Hey, can you log into Instagram and then allow this collaboration?" I'm like, "Well, I've just deleted Instagram," and then had to go through the rigmarole of adding it back onto the phone, and then I hadn't remembered the passwords, and But those 2 weeks of no social media were weird because I still felt like I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
I still had dream. Have you ever had a dream where you're looking at your phone and you can't work out how to use it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a strange thing. I actually think I had quite a similar experience to you in that I actually basically didn't use technology until I was in my mid-20s. So I was I didn't have a phone. I had a phone when I was like maybe 21, and I lost it, and I just never got a new one. Started emailing people occasionally, or I would just make them, and that was it. So I had previous to starting doing TikTok and stuff like that, I had an iPhone 4S, and it was all broken, and I basically only used it to receive calls. I was not on social media at all, and I only started posting on social media because I had to for the things I was doing. So I went from not using my phone at all to now I'm on my phone like, honestly, 11 hours a day, I would say.
Oh.
It's crazy. It's so bad.
Yeah. I'm an 8-hour a day guy, but I mean, an hour and a half of that will be listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
10 minutes of that will be looking at your shit. And then questioning my own food habits. And, I try as little as possible to just do the sort of, there's a cyclical route that I'm now uniquely aware of, which is Instagram, check all the messages, TikTok, check YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I refresh and I go back to the beginning and I'm like, what am I doing? I've already looked. Why am I here again? There's nothing here for me.
One of the absolute worst things is because I wanted to, for people who aren't aware of what I do, I basically make videos every day, and they're just about stupid food stuff or like various current events issues, usually that are related to Ireland. But unfortunately, part of that is now doom scrolling is essentially part of my job. I have to spend a couple hours a day doom scrolling, trying to find stuff. And it's the worst thing ever because I actually got into it. I was telling myself for ages, I'm just doing this because I have to come up with a video idea. And for a while it was that. And now I'll be sitting idle for 2 seconds, having had dopamine hit me right in my fucking face for 2 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I better scroll. Like, why is this random person ended their relationship on TikTok? It's the worst.
Yeah. What we need, I was talking to, I think it was Styx, the drummer from Steel Panther, Styx Zadinia. And I said, I feel like we need like a ring bearer, like in Lord of the Rings. We need a Sam Gamgee to like, oh, I'll hold this for you, don't worry.
Yeah.
To hold the ring of power while we go off and sing and play guitar and come up with gags and stuff, But
what I really noticed is because I took 2 months off social media, and I really did take 2 months off. I had a couple of like posts I had to make, but other than that, I basically left my phone in my bedroom. I didn't touch it all day, and because I had told everybody that I'm going to be gone for this period of time, and what I noticed immediately was my focus. I didn't even realize how bad it had gotten. Yeah. So like there'd be time where I'd be like, say, trying to write a song or something, or I'd be trying to come up with something on the guitar, and I'd do it for like 40 seconds, and then I'd be like having a quick look at my phone, and then doing it for another 5 minutes, and then I'd be like, I wonder what's on my phone. No, we're trying to do this, and then I'd be doing it again. I'd be like, wow, what's going on here? Oh no, actually no. And I didn't realize I was even doing that.
I think we've become oblivious I think we're becoming a new kind of species slowly. I think we've become oblivious to the amount our attention has been diminished through the media that we're consuming. It's forcing it into us because it's easier to monetize.
Yeah.
So because even I, who grew up with prog rock, and I didn't even have music videos as a kid. It was vinyl. So I'd throw on it and I'd listen very happily to a 4-minute track and then play it again to really hear the guitar parts. And now I'll put on a tune and I'll watch my hand reach for my phone while I'm 40 seconds into a tune, and I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. This is so disrespectful to the artist, and I'm interested in this song.
It's not even with music. Sometimes, like, I'll put on something that I want to watch, like, say, maybe a video on YouTube or something like that, and I'll also be on my phone doing something. Or I'll be like, say, I want to play a game or something like that. I'll be playing a game and I have to have a YouTube video on. I just have to pump my brain full of dopamine all the time. But it's so, when I got the couple of months away, it was the first time I'd actually realized the extent to which that had happened. Because I used to sit quite happily for hours playing the guitar and stuff like that, before I got into my phone and all that sort of thing. And I was like, wow, I really need to do this often. This is not good.
I think we need a boredom. Boredom is a powerful medicine.
It really is. It really is. And I realized how powerful it was. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's funny how incredibly exciting something can feel when you've been bored for a few days.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay, it was the hard reset of the solar plexus,
Yeah, for sure.
And, that kind of thing. It's weird, isn't it, man?
But it's strange. It's strange when you think, like, because I remember when I first took the couple of months off, I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I think I've actually been bored in possibly 2 years. This is crazy. Like, and I was like, oh, obviously you're not supposed to be bored. It's like, no, it's really useful to be bored. And you forget how useful it is. Like, sometimes you just be like, that thing you have meant to do for like 6 months, you're just like, I'm fucking bored. I'm going to go and do it. It's amazing. Yeah.
No, it's, how old are you, Garron?
I'm 31.
30. Well, you look so, I mean, you don't look 31, but also 31's young. That's amazing. In a way, it's
I'm getting some grays, starting to age, starting to get a little bit of salt and pepper. Just
I got accused of dyeing my hair. I don't know what people are on. It's unfathomably weird. But I think in a way, it's a blessing for you that you've learned this about yourself now, because obviously you're hugely successful at what you do. But I mean, I see you being vastly more successful than you are. That the road is just, it's downhill now for you. It's in a good way. It's easy. I think.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's ever true. I think sometimes people think, you get to a certain point and then it's like, oh, well, now everything just gets better and that's how it works. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if nothing else happens, I'm happy with the success I've had so far. So I can't.
Let me clarify that point, because it's an interesting one. Obviously, I know a lot of creators, although they're all in the music, they're not all in the music industry, but the majority of them are in the music industry. And I feel like humanity's reached this sort of, I hate to use the word singularity, but they've reached this point where AI is about to decimate the planet with content. It's already happening. I log onto YouTube and I'm like, oh, that looks good. It's a robot. That looks good. It's another robot. And I think you may be one of the last human beings to really reach a niche and grow a name as a musician and an entertainer and a presenter before it becomes very difficult for people to get a grasp in that world, because they'll be competing against gaming, porn, and AI.
Yeah.
Those are three powerful forces.
That's for sure. That's for sure. It is true, I think, in some respects, but I think I don't know. I'm not really as downtrodden about the AI thing as I think most people are. I sort of think what is popular that humans do will change, but I don't think that the popularity of what humans do will decrease. I think a lot of the stuff that people complain about anyway will go away. Like a lot of people are like, oh, all this really sterile music is blah blah blah. I think a lot of that will get replaced by AI, but I think the janky sort of weird, normal sort of person, I think that's what people are going to want to connect to. I think it's the person who, you know, is a bit shit on the guitar but came up with this cool song, or the person who doesn't really know how to edit their videos. I think that's the sort of stuff people are going to want to connect with. And a lot of the really polished, like, and even on YouTube you see it like 5 finance tips for your blah blah blah, and it's all, you know, I think a lot of that will just be automated, and a lot of what's human about you know, content or music or stuff, I think a lot of that is what's going to start to rise to the top, and a lot of that other crap is just going to be sort of taken over by AI, which, you know, just doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it feels like AI is making that stuff anyway. So
I hope you're right, and I think you're right. I also think there's going to be a real resurgence of analog, old school,
I think so.
Live reality is what we're talking about, really.
As far as AI art goes, I just think of it as an aesthetic. Anything is an aesthetic. Like you see, like Mac DeMarco records all of his music on this, you know, these like old fucking shitty tape recorders, and he records his drums twice. It's like, if you'd have done that, you know, at the time when most people were doing that, people would be like, why are you doing this? But now everybody's like, why aren't more people doing this? So it's like, it's just an aesthetic, and AI is going to have a certain aesthetic. It's going to be probably very polished, very, you know, whatever it is. And people are going to gravitate towards that aesthetic to a certain extent, and I think that's fine. And people are going to gravitate towards other aesthetics, and that's been the way it's always been. The same way people kind of go like, oh, there's no rock music anymore, when it's like some of the best rock music is being made today. It's just, that's not the aesthetic that's in the on the radio or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the same with pop music. When people listen to pop music and they go, well, this just sounds like so formulaic. It's like, well, then why do you care so much that AI is going to take that over? It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. It's essentially all algorithmic anyway. It's like, okay, these 6 chords work, this, blah, blah, blah. You know, these words, make sure you say it. Make sure you say the word you 6 times in this song. Yeah, who cares if AI takes that over? It doesn't really bother me that much. Yeah. I understand that people are, you know, people who do that for a living are probably going to lose their job in that capacity. But I feel like people always find a way. That's my, you know,
this
feel like
is the eternal optimism in you that's shining through, which is good. We need this.
But I think, you know, the people who apply their skills in those dimensions now will find an equally, if not more, fulfilling way to apply those skills. I don't think the humanity in people who are doing creative work goes anywhere. It's just, you're possibly going to get to apply it in a different domain. And there's this other tool that can be used, and obviously should be regulated. But I don't know. I know a lot of people are really worried about AI, and I can see certainly why a lot of, especially graphics people, are right now, and I totally get that. But I feel like with the right regulation, it can be a good thing, and it's just another aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's inevitable, so we kind of have to look at it that way anyway. It's not going anywhere. The cat is out of the bag, so we might as well try and be as positive about it as we can. That's my opinion.
I had sort of a future image in my head of a direction you could take when AI fixes a lot of the big problems with mankind, and there are no more things to really make you angry and annoyed about, to react with. Maybe there would still be sort of mildly irritating things, and then you could just, you know, a top 10 mildly irritating, like when you tear kitchen roll and you get that sort of tail of kitchen roll that tears off, you know, things like that, you know. That would be that
is essentially what I try to do. Is the videos are like, there's a lot of really awful stuff going on in the world right now, and what I try to do is I try to, for a few minutes, take you and point you in the direction of a really minor, inconsequential annoyance, and make you laugh about it. Because I think, you know, sometimes, like it's social media especially, but I think everywhere you look, you're hearing bad news, really bad news, really awful things that are happening, and I think it's important to be aware of those things. But I also think you have to give yourself permission to go, I need some time for me, and I can't be thinking about the world at the moment. And I think more and more people are starting to feel like they shouldn't be allowed to do that. And I think it's really important. I don't think you can do anything for anybody else unless you look after yourself. So I have a list of probably like 400 things that like really minorly annoy me, and a video will be made. Maybe AI will even make the videos and put me in them, and I'll just sign a licensing agreement or something like that.
License the IP of the Garron Noone IP. I love that idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, I feel like it's the internet is almost like a digital presentation device of manifestation. And what I mean by that is, people talk about manifesting. I'm seeing, smelling and touching this thing, and then it comes to me. I mean, I've definitely experienced that. But with the internet, if you search for anything, it manifests that in your feed eternally. So you end up in an echo chamber of whatever you look for. And if what you look for is suffering, you're just fed suffering 24/7. And the human brain is designed to sit in a cave and eat berries. We can't deal with just a bombardment of negativity all the time. So Absolutely. You're right. People deserve a break, and then some delicious food.
The other thing is I think sometimes people think the antidote to that is excessive positivity. Let's be all really positive now. My personal opinion is that the antidote to that is much more minor negativity. That's my ethos, is that you need to complain about the random things going on in your life, let off some steam, be cranky about normal stuff. And I think people aren't being cranky enough about regular normal stuff, and that's why they're digging themselves into these holes. Complain about the shape of your bowl, that you can't get enough cornflakes into it. You'd be surprised how good it feels.
So look, for the remaining viewers or listeners who will have come here to listen about food, I'm a massive foodie. Last podcast I did was with a chef called Brian Zhao. He's a phenomenal New York-based, classically trained chef. We had a great talk about food. And I know you talk a lot about interesting snacks and fun things, but tell me about the food of Ireland. Like, if you were taking me out to, wine and dine me, which
who knows? It's going well so far, Rob.
What 3 meals would you feed me that would give me a real sensation of Ireland?
Ireland. Let's see. This is tough because.
By the way, I know Ireland's big, so it doesn't need to be from one, an Irish dish. It could be something from, Donegal.
I think one of the great things about the Irish palate is we appreciate simplicity, much like the English. You like to whack it in a pastry. We like to whack it on a bed of spuds. That's basically our ethos. So, like 3 dishes from Ireland that I would say are the most representative of what we eat, I would say would be an Irish stew, Guinness stew, a spice bag, and some sort of a sandwich, maybe a breakfast roll, maybe a chicken fillet roll. We're big on our sandwiches here. Sandwiches are a huge part of Irish culture. They're a big part of funerals. That's probably the... Yeah. You've got to have a platter of sandwiches at a funeral or a wake, or else you're not dying right if you're not giving people a feed of sandwiches the day you die. That's for fucking sure.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
But we like a lot of bread, potatoes, meats, bacon and cabbage is a big one. There's a dish called coddle, which is basically all of the random shit from your fridge shoved into a pot and boiled. Usually that means boiled sausages, boiled potatoes, and then you mix it up with an onion sort of a broth. Looks horrendous, tastes fine.
Fine.
Yeah, it's just boiled, all the stereotypes are true. We love potatoes, boiling things. We're not big on fancy seasonings, that sort of thing.
Wow.
A lot of Irish chefs are getting really into cooking with seaweed. So a lot of the like modern Irish food is like quite adjacent to Japanese food in a lot of its flavor, because Japanese food is a lot based on like the spices of different seaweeds and stuff like that as well. The taste of the sea.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's us, I think.
That's so interesting. I didn't know about the seaweed thing.
Yeah, like a lot of the like really good modern Irish chefs are playing around a lot with seaweed, and because seaweed can be very different. Like there's seaweed that tastes kind of like peppery or spicy, or it can have like there's a lot you can do with seaweed. I did a podcast with somebody not so long ago, and tried like 80 different types of seaweed, and I didn't realize there was such variety, but you can do a lot with it.
Wow. Well, I think the thumbnail now has to be Garron Noone, 80 types of seaweed.
I believe that picture does exist somewhere. There is a picture of me with a lot of seaweed.
Well, is there anything that you want to promote, talk about, open up about, or whatever before we...
I mean, I'm terrible for promoting things. I'm always told I should, but I always forget them.
Well, where can people find you? Let's start there.
Oh, you'll get me. Just type in Garron to whatever platform. I've probably made a fucking account on it. Just type in Garron Music. You'll find me, Instagram, all that. Most of it is not music related, but sometimes I do that sort of thing. I wanted to tell you as well. I didn't get a chance to tell you. I'm actually. I don't know if you know this. I'm actually a very big fan. I have been watching you since I think I was about 17 or 18. I used to love the challenge videos you and Lee used to do, and then you'd go down the pub and be eating the pub dinner, talking about how you're going to build up the rig. I used to watch those religiously. I probably have watched every single one of those challenge videos.
Oh man, thank you very much. I
love the music as well, man. Love it. I love all that sort of fucking grungy stuff. But I listened to all your music pretty much right when it came out. Like I remember when Aeromancy came out and you advertised it. I listened to it pretty much that day. So I'm a long time listener.
Garron, that blows my mind. That's insane. I really appreciate that. Listen, before we go then, I'm in the middle of creating this massive project, and I can't talk about it too much on the podcast because it's to do with the label, and there are some ins and outs we want to keep kind of hush.
Yeah.
But I'd love you to sing on a track. Would you be up for that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
That would be
I have a lot more time now than I did previously. So I was previously kind of not really getting much time to do music, but there's my main plan when I came back was to do a lot more. So I'd love to.
All right, we'll WhatsApp. We'll find a way of WhatsApping each other. And
absolutely.
Then, I will send you a couple of tracks that we recorded. That one in particular I think will fit you. Are you baritone?
I'm probably like a bass baritone. I got a real low voice.
But you're stretchy though, huh?
Yeah, with a lot of work. With a lot of work. I mean, I fought with my voice my whole life. I hated it for years, but I'm coming to grips with it now.
I've spoken to some of I'm blessed to have spoken to some of the best singers on the planet, and even Devon Townsend was like, "I hate singing. I hate it. It's so hard." And I'm like, "You can't tell me that. You're vocal god. You know, it's a ubiquitous sensation that we all experience. So it just is what it is. I think you're fucking amazing." And
well, thank you very much. As do I. I'm a big fan, as I said.
Do you still have that rev star?
Yes, I do. I love it. It's one of my favorite guitars.
But you don't have a Chapman though, huh?
I don't have a Chapman. I thought I was going to get pulled up on this, but you know what? I've actually recently been looking into baritone. So I think I was thinking about getting one of those. I was only on your website like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was like, I might buy one of these. So yeah, that's the one I was looking at. Yeah. So because I'm a big fan of that McGee guy, and he plays. He plays like baritone. It sounds epic. So I'm like, I need to start playing baritone now.
Well, listen, I know a guy. So let's we'll have a chat after this. We'll do the pretend goodbye, and then we'll have a chat about that.
A1, yeah.
That'll be sick. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
Day. Enjoy your lunch, and I'll speak to you when we say goodbye. Bye.
Love you, stuff.
Cheers, mate.